You went down to the final two market sessions for the week. This is your Frontier opening bell, the Thursday, the 17th of October. It's a very good to get together to look through some of the biggest headlines across the African region as we cover for you, and then give you a sense of how the markets were trading in the previous session. The Nairobi stock market made a very big jump, 1.44%, as you can see on the screen yesterday. That was a very big comeback for the Nairobi stock market. The market still enjoying the news of JP Morgan's coming into the country, being licensed by the central bank, and of course the onboarding of a former executive of the Central Bank of Kenya, who will become the country manager for JP Morgan Chase in East Africa's biggest economy. It's a step into the sub-Saharan African market by Jimmy Diamond, who was in Nigeria yesterday, spoke at the Economic Summit Group and talked about why we need to get policies and actions right on the continent, and investment money would always flow. So this big international investment banking is now effectively on the African continent, making that big a visit here. That's on the market side. The Nigerian markets, after two sessions of good gains, Wednesday the stock market fell by 0.25% after we saw the listing on Monday of Aradel Holdings, the oil and gas integrated company. Investors pulled back about 7% of that stock yesterday, having gained about 3.3 trillion naira in market cap, bringing that to the Nigerian exchange. Let's move on. The BRVM continued in the negative territory since the start of the week, 0.35% off the composite index in Cote d'Ivoire. The Ghana market was flat, 47.8 at the end of the trading day. The Egyptian market pulled back 13 basis points, still holding tentatively the 30,500 level. The GSE was up by 0.52%. The Zimbabwe stock market also eked out some gain yesterday. We saw the rest of the continent finished off in a bit of a mix. So those are the market numbers. Oil prices were up slightly on Wednesday. Gold prices remain very strong to the upside, sitting on the throne, 2,686 level, cruising around that figure. We'll keep an eye on the ECB interest rate decision today. But let's move on to see the rest of the continent. Of course, the JP Morgan story for Kenya is the big news as we look at the new country manager being appointed for the big investment banking company, and of course the most capitalized bank in the US last year, according to data. In the meantime, President William Ruto is asking banks in Kenya to lower their interest rate in order to spur the economy. He's rallying everyone left, right, and center to get the economy back and strong and prevent the impact of the deadly Finance Act riots, protests a few months ago. Kenya is looking to shake it off, and get moving into the rest of the year, whatever is left, that is over the next 2 months or thereabout. The Tanzanian government is looking to enhance reforms in its mining sector. That's under President Samia Suluhu Hassan, Her Excellency, while Rwanda and the East African community are looking to promote a stronger trade tie between the landlocked African country. And those are the headlines out of there. But not so far. If you take it to West Africa, where Jimmy Diamond, the CEO of the JP Morgan Chase, was speaking in Abuja, Nigeria's political capital, at the Economic Summit Group on Wednesday. And then, of course, if we take it down to the rest of the country, the Africa Finance Corporation, which is headquartered in Lagos, and the Arise Integrated Industrial Platform yesterday held that roadshow. We told you about that earlier in the week. And it's adding Nigeria to the West Africa Cotton and Cashew Project Value Chain Program, which has already been done, including textiles in Togo, in the Benin Republic, in Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, Burkina Faso, and a few other countries. Special economic zones around 14 are under the belt of the Arise IIP, in which the EFC invested about $100 million back in June, July, just a few months ago. Now they're getting businesses in Nigeria to understand why and the opportunities and the benefits of putting their businesses within the special economic zones across Nigeria and across Africa, in Gabon, in Sierra Leone, in Kenya, in DRC, and elsewhere. That's the whole story around the AFC and the Arise IIP event yesterday. The banks in Nigeria, according to the central bank, to the fund debt about 7.05 billion naira, an additional 714,000 plus in dollars to customers, according to the central bank, as part of enforcement of actions ensuring that banks behave themselves as far as depositors' funds are concerned. In Ghana, the country says its agric development bank has been able to recover about 500 million cedis in debt from those who are owing. That's between the first 9 months of this year. And yesterday, we got the World Energy Report for this year from the International Energy Agency, forecasting that fossil fuel will remain a major component of the global demand, fuel demand, until by the year 2030. The previous forecast was on 3%. That was raised in the new report by the IEA to 75%. The outlook on fossil fuel contribution to the global fuel demand by OPEC was 77% in its October report, which was released earlier in the week. So we've got all of that out now on the streets. Let's move on to Southern Africa. Jumia says it's exiting Africa. Big online retailer says it's exiting South Africa as well as Tunisia. Then we've got good news for white farmers in Zimbabwe. About 444 of them had been cleared by the government, by the Ministry of Finance, to get those restitution, or what you call compensation, which is taking years and years, runs into billions and billions of dollars. Initially, $20 million will be paid. An additional $35 million has also been earmarked. So it's going in a sort of tranches, as it were, and that was announced by the Zimbabwe's finance minister, Ntuli Ntube. That's some good news there. Still in Southern Africa, South Africa's economic recovery is a hope or a light in a world facing insolvencies. And that's according to the latest report by Allianz Global just a few days ago, start the week. Civil servants in Zimbabwe will be receiving $40 salary increase, US dollars, that is, according to the Ministry of Finance. And South Africa's airline says it's increasing the total number of flights, direct flight out of Nigeria into South Africa to Johannesburg, Lagos, Johannesburg, to 4 flights weekly. And that's ramping up on this major route for South Africa and Nigeria. Good news there, as it were. And food scarcity in Malawi. The Transporters Union says this is due to FX shortage because they didn't have enough. There's no enough foreign currency to import fuel. So they've got to raise transport costs, as it were. Not such a very a good time there for Malawians. Let's finish up in North Africa. Tunisia is looking to raise taxes again. President Cedis' administration, having secured another term in office, is looking to see how it's going to manage the economy, and that includes doubling the country's internal debts, and that is part of what we're just seeing after the elections were done just a few weeks ago. And Egypt in North Africa is stretching a hand to Djibouti in the Horn of Africa to build a 276 kilowatts solar power plant. The whole idea is to shake off the influence of Ethiopia in the Sahel and the Horn of Africa region. Egypt is against Ethiopia for that multi-billion-dollar Renaissance dam, which Ethiopia has built, and they're doing everything possible to shake off how much Ethiopia power supply goes to Djibouti, the dependence of Djibouti also on Ethiopia for a number of things. So this is all about geopolitical power play right now, and Egypt is stepping into that. This is going to support Djibouti to do that, try to reduce Ethiopia's influence. But let's leave that. Egypt and Saudi Arabia, of course, on the visit of the Crown Prince, His Excellency bin Salman, to Cairo 2 days ago, had agreed for deeper investment ties between the North African country and the kingdom in the Middle East. And Morocco has approved importation of red meat to combat rising prices locally. And those are some of the headlines we're covering for you this Thursday, the 17th of October, here on Frontier Africa Reports. You have a great day. Have a profitable day, everyone. Let's get back tomorrow, Friday, to wrap up the business and markets week here on Frontier Africa reports.